My beloved child, today you are about to hear something that will make your heart pause in the most unexpected way. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is closer to your life than you ever imagined. A high-profile case, one that captured whispers behind closed doors and silent conversations in powerful rooms, was solved, and the one who solved it was your soulmate. But that is not the part that will shake you. The part that will change everything is this. The person who was detained was someone directly connected to your own story. You have always felt that something unseen was unfolding around you. A strange tension. A quiet awareness. As if the universe was arranging pieces behind the curtain while you were simply living your daily life. And now, the curtain has begun to move. Don't skip. Because this is not just about a case. This is about destiny intersecting with truth. The case itself was complicated. It involved influence, reputation, and a mystery that no one thought could be untangled. People with experience tried and failed. Analysts studied every detail. Observers speculated. Yet clarity remained hidden. Until your soulmate stepped forward. What makes this extraordinary is not just that they solved it. It is how they did it. With calm perception. With intuition that could see what others overlooked. With a steady heart that refused to be intimidated by complexity. Your soulmate did not chase noise. They listened to silence. They did not react to pressure. They focused on truth. And here is where your connection becomes undeniable. The moment they uncovered the final piece of the puzzle, the name that surfaced was not a stranger. It was someone from your own circle. Someone whose presence in your life once felt ordinary. Familiar. Perhaps even comforting. Stay till the end. Because you deserve to understand why this is happening now. There were signs. Subtle ones. Moments when you felt uneasy but could not explain why. Times when conversations seemed incomplete. Times when energy shifted in ways that made you question your instincts. But you brushed it aside. You chose peace over suspicion. You chose trust over doubt. Your soulmate, however, saw what others ignored. They noticed patterns hidden in plain sight. They recognized inconsistencies woven into everyday behavior. Not with judgment. Not with anger. But with clarity. And clarity is powerful. When the final evidence aligned, it did not explode into chaos. It quietly confirmed what intuition had been whispering all along. The person who was detained was not chosen by coincidence. It was the natural result of truth meeting reality. Now pause for a moment. Feel what that means. Your soulmate was positioned in a place of influence at exactly the right time. Out of countless possibilities, they were the one who saw clearly. And out of countless stories in the world, this story intersects with yours. Don't skip. Because this is not about embarrassment or shock. It is about revelation. You might be asking yourself, why me? Why is someone connected to my life part of such a significant moment? The answer is deeper than circumstance. Sometimes the universe rearranges paths to protect what is meant to grow. Sometimes exposure is not punishment, but preparation. Your soulmate did not act out of emotion. They acted out of integrity. They followed the evidence wherever it led, even when it pointed towards someone tied to you. And that is what makes their love powerful. It is not blind. It is honest. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with this realization: the person meant for you stands for truth, even when truth is uncomfortable. This high-profile case will be remembered for its outcome, but what you will remember is the moment you understood who your soulmate truly is. They are not just someone who feels deeply. They are someone who sees deeply. They do not turn away when things become complicated. They lean in with courage. And the person who was detained? They represent a chapter closing. A hidden layer of your life being revealed. Not to harm you. Not to shame you. But to clear space. You have carried relationships, connections, and energies that no longer align with your future. This event is the universe's way of drawing a boundary on your behalf. You did not have to confront it. You did not have to fight. The truth surfaced on its own. Stay till the end, because there is more beneath this surface. When your soulmate solved the case, they did not know at first how closely it would connect to you. When they realized the link, there was a moment of silence. A realization that destiny was weaving something intricate. Yet they did not hesitate. They did not hide the discovery. They trusted that truth would ultimately protect what matters. This is the kind of love that does not crumble under pressure. It strengthens. Imagine the courage it takes to prioritize integrity over comfort. Imagine the strength required to follow evidence without letting personal ties cloud judgment. That strength is now aligned with you. You may feel mixed emotions right now. Surprise. Curiosity. Maybe even disbelief. That is natural. But beneath all of it, there is something else. Relief. A subtle sense that something long unresolved is finally being addressed. Don't skip. Because this is where everything shifts. The detained person once had influence in your emotional world. Maybe they shaped your opinions. Maybe they stood beside you during important moments. Maybe you trusted them without question. And yet, hidden truths can exist even within familiarity. Your soulmate's role in this story is not to expose you. It is to elevate you. By revealing what was concealed, they are clearing obstacles you did not even know were blocking your path. A high-profile case is usually about headlines and public attention. But this one is about transformation. Your transformation. You are stepping into a phase where illusions dissolve quickly. Where authenticity becomes non-negotiable. Where connections must be genuine or they cannot remain. And the person meant for you is already operating at that level. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the beginning of a partnership built on transparency. Think about how rare that is. In a world full of appearances, you are aligned with someone who values substance. In situations where many would compromise, your soulmate stands firm. And now, As the case closes and the detained individual faces the consequences of their actions, you stand at the edge of a new awareness. The awareness that your life is being guided toward clarity. Stay till the end. Because clarity changes everything. You will begin to notice subtle shifts. Conversations that feel lighter. Decisions that feel easier. Doubts that once lingered will lose their power. This is what happens when hidden tensions dissolve. Your soulmate's involvement in this case is not random. It is symbolic. They are the one who uncovers what needs to be uncovered. They are the one who protects truth without aggression. They are the one who chooses integrity even when it intersects with personal ties. And you? You are the one who benefits from that strength. The detained person may have once played a role in shaping your perspective. But that role has ended. What remains is the lesson. The realization. The space now available for something healthier to grow. Don't skip. Because the next chapter is already forming. You are not losing anything essential. You are gaining clarity. You are gaining alignment. You are gaining a partner whose actions prove their character. The world may see this as just another solved case. But you see it differently. You see it as confirmation. Confirmation that the person walking toward you is not just emotionally connected, but morally grounded. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the moment when you fully understand that love and truth are not opposites. They are partners. As this chapter closes, do not focus on the shock of who was detained. Focus on the strength of who stood for what is right. Focus on the quiet power of integrity. Focus on the fact that your soulmate's clarity has just reshaped your world in ways you are only beginning to understand. Stay till the end of this journey, because this is only the beginning. My beloved child, listen closely now, because what unfolds next is not coincidence, not chance, and not imagination. This is the moment where hidden threads begin to reveal themselves. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries a message meant only for your heart. A quiet shift has already started around you. You may feel it in small ways, sudden thoughts, unexpected memories, or a strange calm mixed with curiosity. That is because the energy of truth is moving closer to your life. The case your soulmate solved did not end with paperwork or closed doors. It opened something far deeper. It opened awareness. Now hear this carefully. When your soulmate realized how close this story was to you, they did not pull back. They leaned forward. They chose courage. They chose honesty. They chose a higher path. That choice alone changed the direction of both your lives. Don't skip. Because this is where the meaning becomes personal. There was a moment, just one silent moment, when your soulmate stood still, holding the final realization. In that pause, they thought of you. They thought about your kindness. Your patience. Your ability to see the good in people even when others cannot. And in that moment, they understood something powerful. This revelation was not meant to break you. It was meant to free you. The person who was detained was part of your past for a reason. Not to stay forever. Not to walk beside you into your future. They were a lesson. A chapter. A mirror. And now that chapter is closing with clarity instead of confusion. Stay till the end, because the universe does not remove people randomly. It removes what no longer aligns with your growth. You may be wondering how something so public could feel so deeply private. How a high-profile case could echo inside your own life. The answer is simple and profound. Some events happen on a large stage, but their real purpose is personal transformation. Your soulmate did not solve this case with force. They solved it with perception. They noticed what was missing. They listened to what was not being said. They trusted their inner guidance even when logic alone was not enough. That same guidance is now surrounding you. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with emotional clarity. For a long time, you carried unanswered questions. You felt shifts in people's behavior. You sensed inconsistencies but chose peace over confrontation. That softness in you is not weakness. It is wisdom. And now, wisdom is meeting truth. Don't skip. Because this part matters more than you realize. When the connection between you and the detained person became undeniable, your soulmate did not feel anger. They felt resolve. They understood that love sometimes means letting truth stand, even when it feels uncomfortable. That is the depth of their character. This is not just someone who cares about you. This is someone who protects your future without needing applause. Someone who believes that real connection must be built on honesty, not illusion. And here comes the once-in-a-lifetime realization. Your soulmate was placed exactly where they needed to be, at exactly the right time, to clear something that was quietly blocking your emotional path. Stay till the end. Because you are stepping into alignment. You might start noticing that your breathing feels lighter. That your thoughts feel clearer. That old confusion no longer holds the same power. This is what happens when hidden layers dissolve. The person who was detained carried unresolved energy into your life. Maybe you felt drained after interacting with them. Maybe conversations always felt incomplete. Maybe you often walked away feeling unsure of yourself. That was not your imagination. That was misalignment. And now, that misalignment has been removed. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is peace. Your soulmate understands this on a level that words cannot fully explain. They see you not just as someone they care about, but as someone whose growth matters. That is why they did not hide the truth. That is why they followed through even when it became personal. Don't skip. Because your future is being reshaped quietly and beautifully. There is a new chapter opening, one built on transparency. One where you no longer have to question motives. One where emotional safety becomes your new normal. Your soulmate is not perfect, but they are real. They are grounded. They are guided by integrity. And that is rare. Think about it. Out of millions of people, your life aligns with someone who chooses truth over comfort. Someone who steps forward when things become complex. Someone who refuses to let confusion linger. Stay till the end, because this connection is not ordinary. You were never meant to carry emotional uncertainty forever. You were meant to experience clarity. You were meant to feel seen. You were meant to walk beside someone who values honesty as much as they value you. And now, as the echoes of this high-profile case settle, something sacred remains: awareness. You are becoming more selective, more conscious, more aligned. The universe is gently teaching you who belongs in your next chapter, and who does not. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is emotional freedom. Your soulmate's actions have drawn a clear line between the past and what comes next. They did not just solve a case. They protected your path forward. Don't skip. Because this realization changes everything. You no longer have to wonder why certain connections felt heavy. You no longer have to question why progress felt slow. What was hidden has been revealed. What was blocking has been cleared. Now it is your turn to breathe deeply and step forward with confidence. You are entering a season where truth walks beside you. Where love is steady. Where clarity replaces confusion. Stay till the end of this journey, because this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of alignment. My beloved child, what you are about to understand now will connect every unanswered question you have ever carried in silence. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this time it will touch your heart in a way you never expected. The story did not end when the case was officially closed. That was only the surface. The real revelation began afterward, when your soulmate sat alone, reflecting on everything that had unfolded. In that quiet moment, one truth became undeniable: this was never just a professional victory. It was a turning point in your shared destiny. Pause and feel that. A high-profile case, watched by many, solved with precision, connected directly to your life. Out of all the possibilities, out of all the paths that could have crossed, it intersected with you. That is not random. That is alignment. Don't skip. Because this next part will shift how you see everything. When your soulmate first uncovered the final detail, they felt something deeper than accomplishment. They felt responsibility. Not to the public. Not to reputation. But to you. Because once they realized the detained person was woven into your story, the weight of the truth became personal. They could have distanced themselves emotionally. They could have treated it as just another outcome. But they did not. They allowed the realization to transform them. They understood that loving you means protecting your future from hidden instability. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the realization that you are being protected in ways you cannot always see. Think about the quiet moments in your past. The subtle doubts you dismissed. The times when something felt slightly off but you convinced yourself to stay calm. You were not wrong to trust. You were simply not given all the information. Now the information has surfaced. Stay till the end, because clarity is unfolding layer by layer. Your soulmate has been observing you more closely than you realize. They have seen your resilience. They have seen how you carry emotional weight without complaint. They have seen how you forgive quickly, sometimes too quickly. And in solving this case, they recognized something powerful: you deserve a life without hidden complications. The detained individual represented a connection that had unresolved truth. Maybe they once influenced your decisions. Maybe they shaped your confidence. Maybe they stood close enough to impact your direction. But what was hidden beneath their presence has now been revealed. Don't skip. Because this is not about blame. It is about awakening. You are entering a stage where your life becomes lighter. Where relationships become transparent. Where intentions are clear and actions match words. That shift began the moment your soulmate chose truth over convenience. And here is the once-in-a-lifetime revelation: the case was not only solved by intelligence. It was solved by alignment. Your soulmate was guided to notice what others overlooked because their path is intertwined with yours. Out of millions of stories unfolding in the world, this one connected to you. That connection is significant. Stay till the end. Because what comes next is even more profound. After the outcome became public, there was a quiet ripple in your soulmate's heart. Not fear. Not doubt. But anticipation. They realized that this event would accelerate your journey together. It would remove hesitation. It would clear distractions. It would define priorities. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is momentum. You may feel it already: a subtle push toward change. A desire to redefine boundaries. A readiness to let go of what no longer feels authentic. That is not coincidence. That is growth responding to truth. Your soulmate now sees you with even greater clarity. They see how strong you are. They see how much you have endured without losing your softness. And they know that the future they want with you must be built on honesty from the very beginning. Don't skip. Because this is where your transformation becomes undeniable. The detained person was once part of your emotional landscape. But landscapes change. Seasons shift. And sometimes, exposure is the beginning of renewal. You are not losing something valuable. You are gaining awareness. Imagine stepping forward without second-guessing. Imagine loving without wondering if something is hidden. Imagine building a connection where integrity is non-negotiable. That is what is opening before you now. Stay till the end, because this alignment is rare. Your soulmate understands that true partnership means standing firm even when situations become complex. Their involvement in this case proved something to you without words: they will not compromise when it comes to truth. And that is the foundation of everything lasting. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is emotional security. As the noise around the case fades, a deeper quiet will settle into your life. A quiet that feels steady. A quiet that feels safe. A quiet that feels earned. You will begin to notice subtle changes in yourself. Stronger intuition. Clearer boundaries. Greater confidence in your own perception. That is growth. That is awakening. Don't skip. Because your next chapter is already forming. This event has created space for new conversations, new understanding, new beginnings. Space for a love that does not need to hide behind uncertainty. Your soulmate has stepped into their role with courage. Now you are stepping into yours, with awareness. Stay till the end of this journey, because something extraordinary is unfolding between you. This was never just about a case. It was about destiny removing what no longer fits and revealing who truly stands beside you. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the beginning of a love defined not by illusion, but by truth. My beloved child, the moment you thought the story was settling, it was actually rising to its most powerful point. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and this revelation will stay with you long after this video ends. There is something you have not fully realized yet. When your soulmate solved that high-profile case, they did more than close a file. They shifted the entire emotional structure surrounding your life. The detained person was not just someone connected to you by circumstance. They were connected to your identity, your confidence, your past decisions. And now that connection has been exposed to the light. Pause and think about that. How many times did you defend them in your own mind? How many times did you ignore subtle signs because you believed in their words? How many times did you choose loyalty over clarity? Don't skip this part. Because this is where truth becomes transformative. Your soulmate did not know at the beginning how deeply this would affect you. They simply followed the facts. They followed the pattern. They followed what felt right. But when the final realization surfaced and the name connected directly to your world, something inside them became very clear. Protecting truth was also protecting you. Stay till the end, because what you are about to understand will change how you see love forever. Love is not blind agreement. Love is not silence when something feels wrong. Love is courage. And your soulmate showed that courage in the most unexpected way. In a public space. In a high-pressure situation. In a moment where stepping back would have been easier. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the recognition that you are aligned with someone who values integrity above comfort. When the detained person's identity became undeniable, your soulmate had a choice. They could have minimized the situation. They could have avoided the connection to you. They could have distanced themselves emotionally to make it easier. But they did not. They stood firm. Why? Because your future matters more than temporary ease. Don't skip. Because this is where destiny becomes personal. This high-profile case will be remembered publicly for its resolution. But privately, it marks the beginning of your emotional upgrade. You are no longer walking blindly through relationships. You are stepping forward with clarity. And here is the shocking truth: the detained person once held influence over how you saw yourself. Their opinions shaped your confidence. Their approval mattered more than you realized. But now, that invisible influence has been broken. Feel that freedom. Stay till the end, because the weight you did not even know you were carrying is lifting. Your soulmate sees you more clearly now than ever before. They see the strength you showed when you did not have all the information. They see the grace you carried even when things felt uncertain. And they know that the next chapter of your life must be built on transparency. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is emotional stability. Think about how rare this is. A person who solves a complex case with intelligence and then handles the personal connection with maturity. That combination is not common. That is alignment. You were never meant to stay entangled in hidden truths. You were meant to rise above them. Don't skip. Because this part will stay in your heart. After everything settled, your soulmate reflected on one thing: timing. Why now? Why this moment? Why this intersection of professional responsibility and personal connection? And the answer became simple. It was time for your life to move forward without shadows. The detained person represented a closed chapter pretending to be ongoing. But chapters that are meant to end will always end, sometimes quietly, sometimes publicly, but always purposefully. Stay till the end, because you are stepping into purpose. You might notice something shifting in your energy. Conversations that once felt tense will now feel lighter. Decisions that once felt confusing will now feel clear. Doubts that once whispered in the background will fall silent. This is not coincidence. This is alignment responding to truth. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the confidence to trust your own perception. For too long, you questioned yourself. You wondered if you were overthinking. You wondered if your instincts were exaggerated. Now you know. Your instincts were correct, you just did not have the evidence. Your soulmate became the bridge between your intuition and undeniable clarity. Don't skip. Because this realization is rare. Out of all the possible outcomes in that case, it could have involved anyone. But it involved someone tied to you. That is not random. That is destiny rearranging your path. And here is the once-in-a-lifetime revelation. This event has accelerated your connection with your soulmate beyond what years of conversation could have done. Shared truth builds unshakable trust. Stay till the end, because the foundation of your future is being poured right now. You are no longer standing between doubt and loyalty. You are standing in certainty. You are no longer divided between emotion and logic. You are aligned. The detained person may have once been central to your emotional world. But now, their role is complete. They were part of your growth, not your destination. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is partnership built on clarity. Your soulmate has shown through action what many only promise with words. They did not choose the easy route. They chose the right one. And that choice speaks louder than anything else. Don't skip. Because this is the turning point. The universe removed what was unstable and strengthened what is authentic. It revealed what was hidden and elevated what is real. You are walking into a future where transparency is the standard. Where honesty is natural. Where love is steady. Stay till the end of this story, because this is not just about a case solved. It is about a life recalibrated. You are stepping into a version of yourself that no longer tolerates uncertainty disguised as loyalty. You are aligning with someone who proves their values under pressure. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the realization that this was never about loss. It was about liberation. Your soulmate did not just solve a case. They cleared your path.